What's up guys? So today's video is going to be about Monkey Beach by Eden Robinson. And you may recognize Eden Robinson's name from her Trickster trilogy, which I did my last video on. You should be able to see the link to that video up above, and I'll also probably drop the link down in the description below too. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. So I read Monkey Beach this May, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars kind of tentatively, because I did find it a hard book to rate for myself. The book itself was published in 2000 and apparently recently got a movie adaptation which came out in 2020. I haven't watched it yet, I just found out about it, but kind of curious to see how this translates into movie form. When it comes to genre, Monkey Beach could probably be most accurately described as magical realism or general fiction with supernatural elements. The book takes place mostly in the 70s and 80s and is also mostly single POV. The main character is named Lisa Hill. She is a Haisla woman who lives in Kitimat, which is located on Haisla First Nation territory. In the present day, Lisa is approximately 20 years old, if I remember correctly, but the narrative often takes us back through her childhood memories throughout the course of the book. In the beginning, we find out that Lisa's younger brother Jimmy has gone missing at sea. He was hired onto a fishing boat which had left Kitimat only a few days before, and Lisa's family have recently been informed that the ship has gone missing and that the Coast Guard hasn't been able to locate either the ship or anyone who was on it. Lisa's parents are understandably frantic, and Lisa herself is quite dazed. She's not eating or sleeping properly, she's drinking lots of coffee. Early on in the book, Lisa's parents decide to travel down south to Numa to join the search party. Lisa first remains back home in Kitimat with her aunt, but then decides that she's going to take the family motorboat to join her parents while also making a stop at Monkey Beach, kind of in a last-ditch effort to find her brother. Right off the bat, the whole atmosphere feels very grim, very heavy, and very surreal. Very funereal, you could say. Even though they don't have confirmation of whether or not Jimmy is alive, the atmosphere in this book is really infused with the tense, kind of suffocating, disorienting grief that you feel when you've lost someone and you're kind of going through the motions. Time is moving both slowly and quickly at the same time, and you almost feel like you're waiting for something. Right off the bat with this book, you're kind of dropped into this very tense, very heavy atmosphere. Monkey Beach is very, very stream of consciousness, and I think that's something that you need to be okay with in order to fully enjoy this book. The timeline jumps around a lot between the present day and various points in time from Lisa's childhood. Actually, I would say the book takes place, for the most part, in her childhood memories that she's preoccupied with, while the present day just kind of flits in and out every so often. In a lot of ways, the various childhood memories that we travel through feel like pieces of a puzzle. Going into it, personally, I felt naturally inclined to start looking for patterns in Lisa's memories to try to figure out what she's trying to tell us through visiting all these different memories. And then after a certain point, I started to feel like maybe this was a random trip down memory lane. I wasn't too sure, because sometimes it's hard to see where the pieces fit. But ultimately, you only really see the connections and the threads to all these memories more clearly towards the end of the book. I think if you've read and enjoyed Robinson's Trickster trilogy, and you also enjoyed the way she wrote the family dynamics in that series, I think there's a lot for you to enjoy in this book as well. While we do get memories involving Jimmy, this is also a story about Lisa's relationships with her grandmother, with her uncle, both of whom she was very close to growing up. Ultimately, a story about loss, grief, buried and unspoken trauma, intergenerational knowledge, as well as relationships, as well as many, many other things. Before I finish up, I wanted to come back to the idea of how time moves in this book, and how time moves when you're dealing with shock and grief. I do think that the structure did a really, really great job of mimicking that feeling of time being weird. The present day in this book only really encompasses a fairly short stretch of time for most of the book, and moving through Lisa's memories makes you feel like you're so immersed in her life and like a long time has passed with different life events happening, so much so that when we do pop back into the present day, it's almost disorienting that time hasn't progressed further than it has. In a lot of ways, I found that very realistic. Because if you think about, or at least for myself, I'm sure other people have experienced this as well, when you're so soaked in your own memories, that time is moving quickly in your brain is going over, things that happened maybe 5-10 years ago, who knows? And then when you kind of snap out of that, you're realizing only a few seconds or a few minutes has passed in reality. So yeah, I found that the structure of the book mimicked that feeling very, very well, at least for me. I found it very effective that way. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there for now. A little bit of a shorter video than normal for me, but I'm also concerned that if I talk too much more about this book, I'm going to wind up spoiling it. But this is definitely very much a book that has a lot of meat to it, a lot to dig into, and really, really good to do. One of those books that's really fun to do kind of a deep dive into. It's definitely gotten me thinking just about, it's one of those books that, when you read it, it's not just about thinking about it when you're reading it, you're thinking about it directly after, but also weeks, months down the line as well. You're thinking back to like, oh, actually, like, this book is even better than I originally thought because I'm now noticing X, Y, Z, or like, now this clicks in and I'm thinking about, whatever. Anyways, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that book. I definitely recommend it, but again, with the caveat that you definitely have to be somebody who's cool with very, very stream of consciousness kind of a structure. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.